Regian Eersel has been carving out a reputation for himself as a truly special violence merchant within the sport of Muay Thai. A ruthless finisher holding one championship gold, who is riding a streak of victories that extends all the way back to 2016. With that in mind, we're going to bring you some of this masterfully destructive striker's greatest finishes, the knockouts that have many people pegging him as one of the pound-for-pound kings of this sport. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. That way, you won't miss out on any future uploads. Without further ado, let's get into it. Serrano Voron. To kick things off, we have a vintage moment from Regian Eersel, a slice of conclusive proof that showcases his willingness to jump into the fire with his opponent to score the knockout. Eersel is a great offensive talent, yes, but his ability to rely on his head movement and toughness makes him an incredibly game-action fighter. He will jump into a brawl if you let him, and in this early career matchup with Serrano Voron, we got a chance to see him rely on his chin a little, responding to a big head kick attempt by firing off a huge combo that ended with a vicious flying knee to finish. And when it landed, it became very clear that there would be no follow-up needed, or even a 10 count. One of the earliest signs that would eventually come from Eersel, one of his finest pre-title knockout moments. Alekseev. The first knockdown in this sequence made it very clear to everyone watching that Eersel's opponent, Alekseev, did not want to be there any longer. Yet another flying knee was used to soften his target up, and just looking at the body language from Alekseev would be enough to tell you that he was looking for a way out. And if those watching at home sensed it, you'd better believe that Eersel sensed it too. Even at his younger age, he had an undeniable killer instinct. And when his opponent gave him the signal that he was ready to be put away, Regian obliged him with a swift flurry that caused the referee to step in. Easy work for Eersel, and yet another step towards his eventual spot at the top of the Muay Thai world. Nwat. We go next to one of the most famous early career wins of Eersel's run in Muay Thai, facing off against Nwat, who is still a top 5 featherweight in one championship to this day. Eersel used a classic misdirect to send his opponent to the shadow realm. Firing off a half-hearted right hand was merely a ploy to get his target to drop his defenses. Once the punch was thrown, Eersel was already pivoting out and firing up a very sneaky head kick behind it, catching Nwat completely unawares and ending his night there and then. It was a beautiful knockout blow, and proof of the fact that it's the shots you don't see coming that hurt the most. It was one of the finest head kicks Regian ever threw, one of the most intelligent finishes of his career, and, in our opinion, one of his best highlights to this day. It Pratt. Eersel's confidence in his flying knees has been evident since his earliest appearances in the ring, and when he took on It Pratt, he made no attempts to deviate from one of his favorite techniques, using the flying knee repeatedly to smash through his opponent's defenses. He even dipped into yet another trademark of his, following up his knees or kicks with an immediate punch on the inside. Like so many others who didn't quite have the reflexes to see this one coming, It Pratt fell to the mat immediately, caught totally off guard, and sent home with a big fat L on his record for his troubles. Yet another display of next-level striking from Eersel, and not the last time he would use his cardio and volume as a primary weapon in his assault. Hing. This next one is kind of painful to watch. This was a true Muay Thai clinic from Regian Eersel, a multi-pronged assault that saw him use hands, knees, kicks, and elbows to totally dissect Hing. Once he had ripped his opponent's confidence from him, he just got into a flow state and started going to work. Overloading your opponent's sensors can be the perfect way to get them out of there, and for Hing, having such a wide variety of powerful strikes flying at him was clearly confusing him, and with the damage piling it up, it was only a matter of time before he fell apart completely. One of the easier wins on Regian Eersel's record, but man, it was a display of total domination and undeniable striking artistry. Pleschberger. Pleschberger received a real lesson in pain from Eersel when the pair faced off. See, the thing about a striker like Regian is that he is very capable of stringing together a multi-tiered offensive rally when he has his opponents in trouble. Body punches, head kicks, flying knees, elbows. Eersel will mix these together fluidly when he finds his moment, opening up his opponent for a world of pain. Marco Pleschberger just didn't have an escape plan when Regian's volume started flowing in. Eventually, like most others who find themselves in this kind of thunderstorm, he fell to the canvas meekly, totally defeated. Sergey Brown. Need more proof of Eersel's battle readiness and ability to take a shot? Well, he pretty handedly ate this spinning hook kick from his opponent, Sergey Brown, shrugging off what could have been a fight-altering shot, only to completely turn the tides on Brown shortly after. Despite getting hit with a partially landed spinning kick that definitely still stunned him, Eersel charged forth immediately, unwilling to accept any form of momentum change his opponent might try to bring about. Within seconds, he responded to a clinch break from the ref by hammering Brown's midsection, dropping him to the mat immediately, leading him to hang limply between the ropes. This fight was over the second that shot landed. Man, Regian Eersel has one mean body shot in his arsenal. Anthony Njokuani. This next one is all kinds of violent. Facing off against the combat sports veteran Anthony Njokuani, Eersel brought a highly level of volume and intensity to this matchup. This knockout sequence was kind of crazy because it's hard to know whether it was the initial elbow shot or any of the follow-ups that caused the greatest amount of damage. The fact that Eersel moved directly into the clinch seemed to stop his opponent from falling to the canvas. In other words, Regian might have prolonged this fight from stopping just to dish out some extra punishment. Whether he meant to do so or not, the results speak for themselves. This was yet another piece of nasty finishing from Eersel. Sinsamut Klinmi. If there's a word that could be used to describe this finish of Sinsamut Klinmi, then it would be murderous. The way Regian stalked his prey here and found home for a mean body shot was truly masterful work. You could just see Klinmi's poker face totally vanishing as he realized that his liver was compromised. Eersel, being the finisher that he is, pounced on the opportunity that he had carved out, landing a further 2 strikes on his opponent as he was falling to the mat. This fight was over as soon as that initial body blow landed, but Regian just couldn't help himself. More characteristically violent work from this Muay Thai wizard, Dimitri Mikov. This next one was a total work of art, conclusive proof of just how many levels exist within the world of high-level striking. If you can mix up our rhythm like Regian managed to do here, you're going to find the killing blow on a large portion of the opponents you end up facing. The way Eersel uses the body kick to mask the left hook follow-up is truly something magical. His ability to throw the second shot directly behind the first, with barely any time between them, caused Dimitri Mikov's defenses to be totally down when he needed them the most. Focused on the first threat, while the second was just milliseconds behind. Clean work from Eersel and proof of his constant growth as a striker. Even now, with his spot at the pinnacle of Muay Thai set in stone. If you enjoy these battles as much as we like compiling them, please subscribe and hit the like button. Trust us, you'll want to know about all the crazy stuff that's going to happen next.